How can you turn your weaknesses into your strengths? So, there was once a 10-year-old boy who had lost his left arm a few years before. Now, every day to and from school, this boy and his mother would pass by a judo dojo. The boy begged his mom to let him start learning judo. So the mom agreed that they would stop by and talk to the master. As the boy introduced himself to the old Japanese sensei, the sensei turned to the mom and told her that he would personally take the boy underneath his wing and teach him judo. So the mother reluctantly agreed. The boy would show up every day, and the sensei would show him some judo techniques. Showed him a few different defensive techniques, but only one offensive technique. Days turned into weeks, the weeks turned into months. The boy started to get frustrated. He asked the sensei, "Why have you only taught me one offensive technique and a handful of defensive when all the other boys are learning many other techniques?" Sensei smiled at the boy and replied, "Have patience. Once you learn this technique, you will have little need of any others." So the boy put his faith in the master. A few weeks later, the sensei came up to the boy and informed him, "I've entered you in a tournament next weekend." Nervous and excited, the boy was unsure of how well he would do. Having faith in his master, though, he showed up on the day of the tournament, faced off against his first opponent, bowing and then locking up with the opponent. He would defend against a few attacks, and at one moment, the opponent made a mistake that the boy capitalized on, pulling his one move and winning the match. Second match, same thing. He would defend against attacks, wait until his time, and he pulled his one technique and won the match. He did this all the way up into the last match of the tournament, going up against last year's champion. This boy was bigger, stronger, and faster than he was. But he had faith in his sensei. So he squared up, he bowed, and then locked up with his opponent. He defended, kept going on longer than any other match had gone, and it looked as though he was outmatched. But the opponent got frustrated, attacked, made a little mistake that the boy capitalized on, pulling his one technique, winning the match, and winning the tournament. The boy couldn't believe it. Celebrating, got the first place trophy, everybody yelling and screaming in celebration. On that way home, he was talking with his sensei on the car ride, discussing every match, every move that had happened. And then, building up enough courage, he asked the sensei, "How was it that I had won that tournament with one offensive technique?" The sensei smiled and replied, "You have almost mastered one of the most difficult techniques in all of judo. One of which, the only defense for your opponent is to grab your left arm." What the boy thought was a weakness of missing his left arm, the sensei had turned into his strength. Look at your weaknesses in your life, whether in the gym, relationships, or at work. What can you do to strengthen those weaknesses? By strengthening your weaknesses, you will succeed. You will become better.